Anybody that set their sights on you would be thinking too small.
They'd be thinking too small.
100%. They should have gone to, I want to be Oprah, but they said, I can be Lewis. Okay. Lewis is achievable for me. You pick the fruit off the tree you can see. We for whatever reason, my regret is that I didn't say, bro, I'm going to go to the top of the tree. In fact, I'm going to own the whole orchard.
Wow.
Or even the entire forest, and I'm going to really make a difference. I'm going to be that Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan. I'm going to be legacy, 300, 400 years of dynasty kind of legacy thinking. That's the biggest regret of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because I know I could have done it.
A lot of times I hear people tell me, man, money's not everything, man. It's not everything, man. Like I kind of know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you.
Yeah, it's not everything. 100% is not everything, but it buys everything.
Exactly.
There's nothing it doesn't buy.
Come on.
Even health.
Come on.
You want better health?
Yeah.
Takes money.
Magic Johnson would be dead if he wasn't a big
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you guys that I don't. First of all, I don't even know why you go. Money ain't everything. You don't even have enough money to give advice on money.
Yeah, man.
I think you are shut your damn trap right now. You don't have any money. If you don't have any money, quit talking about it.
Yeah. Money.
Just start walking around talking about how you don't have any money.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do about it? Don't tell me that money isn't everything. I know that money isn't everything. It's the only thing that buys a jet.
Come on, man.
It's the only thing that pays for my kids' clothes.
Let's go.
It's the only thing that'll take care of, put us on a trip if we want to go someplace.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that buys advertising on Google or Facebook. They don't take freaking biceps.
Yeah. My son can't eat happiness.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Everybody's like, oh, money won't make you happy. I'm not looking for happy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some money right now so I can create some wealth, I can own some property. So one day I don't have to work so much because money's coming in because of the assets I own. And then I can go worry about being happy. And you need to get around people that have stuff that you don't have and that have done stuff you haven't done. And have dreams. You need to get around people that have inflated dreams and dreams that your neighborhood can't think with and your community doesn't even, like you're like, I want to get a boat. Okay, well you before you decide on a boat, you might want to go see somebody who's got a 300-foot yacht because it might change the things that you're thinking about. And before you say, hey, I want to buy a Lamborghini, you should go visit a Lamborghini car dealer and talk to him about owning a Lamborghini dealership rather than owning a Lamborghini. So, because I believe that anybody can do this stuff.
I agree.
I think it starts with the think. We're limited in our thinking because we're middle class. Most of us are brought up poor middle class, and we're limited by the examples that we're raised by. This is a problem too because we take advice from everyone. That's a big mistake that I made as a young man. I would take advice from anyone. Like I was so hungry. And I think this is more your audience than the lazy person. I know we put a lot of attention on people that don't follow up, but I think a bigger problem is you guys take advice from everybody. You watch their clip, take their advice, and then you go listen to Dave Ramsey, and then you move to Boo Boo, and then you go over here to Jim. And by the time you're done, the reason you don't do anything, I actually don't believe in laziness. I believe laziness is caused because of confusion. People don't do anything because they're go left, go right, go straight. At that point, I'm like, the best thing to do is stop because I don't know where I'm going. So that's why I tell you, man, the thing that's really helped me is I'll take one guy and study his entire life. And I could study that life for years, maybe 2 years or 3 years, one person, and never take any other content in. On the money game, it should have never been 10X, dude.
Well, it should have been 100.
I always said it should have been 100X. But I did 10X because people couldn't think with it.
Yeah.
So, but really, I was thinking too small back then.
Really?
I'm still thinking too small. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
You're thinking bigger than back then.
Oh yeah, 100. But I'm still thinking too small, right?
But but I'm also curious, like, if you overthink, let's say I'm 1,000X right now.
Yeah.
And you're not prepared for that type of wealth or pressure or experience or opportunity, then is that too big too fast?
No, you should still think bigger because you're not going to know thinking smaller, right? You're not going to know, never going to get there, right? I mean, look, the guy thinks too small and he wins a $1 billion lottery ticket and he got lucky. He's got problems too. He's just got new problems. He doesn't know what to do with the money.
Right.
So if I would have thought bigger, I don't have the problem of not taking action. Okay, so I'm not that guy. I'm not. You got to deal with whatever you got, right? But I know this: if I thought smaller, I would have taken fewer actions. When you start thinking really big, you have to. If you're going to go get this thing, if you're serious about whatever that thing is, I thought here because I was thinking, oh yeah, that's achievable. But how can a child, a 3-year-old, think that they can pick up 100 pounds or ride a big horse? They can't. It's like not achievable until daddy picks him up, puts him on it, and he's like, oh, I can ride a horse. I can ride it. But when he's looking up, he's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking you don't have anything and you're just hungry, it's hard to dream, man.
Yeah.
Because your stomach's saying, pay attention to me. Or pay attention to my kids, or shoes, or whatever your crunch is. Oh, inflation, cost of bananas. This is a fear cycle, man. This is like it's them marketing fear to us to stay small, so we become consumers, not doers.
So you buy something.
So I bought a deal in Nashville. I'll tell you about a deal I bought in Nashville.
Let's hear about it.
So as soon as I saw the deal, it came across my desk. I said, I'm buying this 823 units, 4 properties in Nashville as a portfolio. Guy in Chicago owned it, professional real estate guy. They owned 10,000 units. Only property he had here was these last 4. Bad loan on the deal. Bad loan meaning I had to adopt the property and the loan. Nobody would buy the deal because the loan sucked. Okay, high rate of interest. It was 5 3/4 or something. I said, I'm buying this deal for sure. Okay, because I'm just going to sweat out the bad loan. When the bad loan's gone, this fucking property is going to be worth a lot of money because it's 823 units. We bought the deal for $53 million. I put, it was 63 million. I put $5 million down. That's all I had to put down. It was $58 million loan. I'm like, I'm stealing this thing. Everybody's like, you're fucking crazy buying this. To me, I'm like, I'm stealing this. I'm buying 800 units for $5 million. Okay? I just got to sit out with this shit loan. So I buy the deal. I'm in the hospital when the bank is supposed to give me the stamp. I had this heart thing happen to me, a ring around my heart, some kind of virus, right? And so the Sunday night, I tell my wife, I said, I think I got to go to the hospital. I can't do this. 10:30, I tried to put it off. 11:30, I'm like, I think I got to go.
Was it like erratic heartbeat and shit?
No, it was just pressure, dude, pressure on my heart, And so I'm like, did I eat something bad, And like 4:30 in the morning, I said, fuck it, I got to get out of here. She was with a kid. We had a kid at the house that was sleeping. So I drove to the hospital by myself. It was 1 mile away. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I get to the hospital, 8:30 in the morning. I'm still in there. They want to hit me up with morphine and shit. I'm like, I can't, dude. I can't. I got this meeting coming up and I got to get out of here. And they're like, you're not leaving here today. I said, I got a group coming in here to approve me for $58 million. They got to know I'm healthy. So I got to leave, guys. They're like, you're not leaving. So I pulled everything out, got in my car, drove to my office. This is a true story, man. Drove to my office. Okay. These guys are already in my office at 9:15 in the morning. I walk in, I'm white. I still have the little green thing. I hide it under me, right? And I'm white. And I'm like, guys, this is where the sales thing does work, right? So, because I only got one audience right now. So I said, hey, guys, look, I've been with my best friend. I mean, somebody I'm so dear and close to. I've been with them. He's in the hospital. He's not doing well. And so as soon as this meeting's over with, I've been with him all night. I'm really worried about him. And when this meeting's over with, I'm going straight back to him.
And you were telling the truth.
The whole thing was the truth. That's what I always tell the truth. Sometimes you can tell too much of the truth. That would have been stupid for me to say, it's me in the hospital, right? Because they couldn't approve the loan.
Right.
We sold that property. The hold on that was 10 years. We sold it 37 months later for $91 million.
Wow. That's awesome.
$28 million score. $5 million turned into, $28 million.
Got it.
Can't do that doing sales training.
Right.
It's just impossible. And so one day I was with him and he's like, hey man, what do you want from me? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what I want from you is, I said, I mean, nothing really. He's like, yeah, you want something. I said, if I had my wish list, I'd just see your bank statement. Mm. And he's like, what? I said, just your bank statement. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. What does his statement look like?
Right.
$367 million in one account. And I was looking at this. I was like, dude, Schwab account, Merrill Lynch account. Like he had all these accounts, a Bank of America account with like 400 million. Like I was like, oh my God. And for me, it was like, it's real. Yeah. It's real. Those are numbers. This is a regular guy. Now, the second thing I thought about was, okay, I'm in the wrong space. I'm in the wrong, I can't do this doing what I do.
The wrong vehicle.
Yeah. Now this is, let me see what year this was, 2000. No, it wasn't. No. That's 4 years ago. No, this is more like maybe 6.5 years ago. This is only maybe 2015.
Okay.
In the next 7 years, I would go from where I'm at then to like cracking a brick.
And that's when you decided to start Cardone Capital.
Then I started looking at, I'm in the wrong space. Yeah. This space cannot churn enough money. No. I'm not reaching enough people. I'm not marketing enough. Not enough people know me. My product lineup is wrong. Yeah. Like I was in the right I was on the right field, just the wrong position.
Got it.
You're surrounded by, poverty. You're surrounded by little think. You're surrounded by addiction. You're surrounded by slavery. Yeah. Look. I mean, there's as much slavery in the country today as there ever has been. You got 300 million people in this country that are slaves. It's called the middle class. They just made it to a place.
Right.
They just made it. I can pay my bills. I can pay my mortgage. Look what they're paying for. I can pay my house. I paid my house off now. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I paid the house off. I don't have that anymore. I got a retirement account. These 5 things that I just mentioned are simply machine. They're the machine. You're feeding the machine. You're stuck. You're not free yet. So for the young guy out there with nothing, dude, your first target needs to be a 1% club.
Got it.
Second thing, that means you need to suffer until you get there. No cars, no bracelets, no watches, no glow, no like.
For sure.
You're not doing the shine and I'm popping and I'm rocking because you ain't going to fool me with your shit.
Yeah.
Guys like me, they don't care. 40% of the people that were making $1 million a year or something said they were living paycheck to paycheck. But that's not because of inflation. That's because they spent money they shouldn't have spent. They thought they were entitled to because they're millionaires.
They live above their means.
They live above their investments, not their means.
Interesting.
They lived within their means but never invested.
All right.
And thought that they were always going to be more valuable and more valuable. That's not how value works. Your value as a human being is going to go like this. Okay, it's going to go up. Whatever you're doing, you're going to go, hopefully you get to go up. You don't go flatline the whole career. I mean, if you're a maid and you never got better at being a maid, you're going to be flat the whole time, right? But if you go from maid to, I'm going to own a series of...
Right. You get more skills. You get
more skills now. I own a company. Your value is going to go up, but sooner or later, your value is going to start arcing out.
Why is that?
Technology, you're getting older. You can't service as many people. You didn't grow your company, and the value of your company or your talents. You're a baseball player. You're making $40 million a year. Sooner or later, bro, they ain't going to pay you anything. Tom Brady, he was making a bunch of money. He's going to be paid more as a commentator.
Crazy.
So he's going to have he's going to have a big spike because his brand is so much. Now, if he draws an audience, if he doesn't draw an audience, contract will be renegotiated and or they'll kill him and his income will go down. But he should have been loading up on assets. I've always been preparing for this bell curve to do this. Well, Grant's no longer valuable to people. And with the point where I'm no longer valuable,
you got
my assets are going to be like, boom. They'll kick my value up.
Interesting.
They'll catch up with my earned income and replace it. Right? And people should have that target. Your target should be not to make more money, but to have more money that you don't make to match what you do make.
From your investments.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm making 80 grand a year, back in that example, 80 grand a year, and then I'm going to go to 800. Let's say you figured that out. Along the way, you're just accumulating assets with the other 700,000 so that one day your 800 grand that you're making now, you're making another 800 from income from the investments. So when the first income goes away, that second layer of investments starts to pay you and your family. And that becomes your life insurance. That becomes your Keogh 401k retirement plan. But you're investing in things that you own, not things Wall Street owns.
If someone has, let's say, a fairly small business, they might be self-employed or they might have 10 to 20 employees. What would your tangible advice be to help them scale that up to new levels?
10x.
And how tangibly can they do that?
You have 10 people, your new target should be 100 people. Now you're not going to go from 10 to 100 tomorrow because now you got a new problem. You're like, I don't have the payroll. Right. I don't have the income for it. I don't even know where to find 90 more people. Okay, good. That's your new problem. Right? So I'm doing $1 million in revenue. Okay, your goal is to go to 10 million. Do not try to go from 1 million to 1.2 million. The incrementals almost never work because it forces you to keep thinking in terms of incrementals. There's no big ideas, right? Because I'm like, okay, we're doing a $10 million a year. The economy's getting worse. So you guys sit down in a budget meeting. Everybody does this. Guys, we need to go from 10 million. Let's just do 10 million again because the economy's bad. You're never going to keep it. Flat lines always fall. Now, if the group, by the way, everybody, your average people that you guys talk to every day, they're all thinking the same way. So what you want to do is think outside that box and say, no, while they're going to flatline, what we're going to do is we're going to take our business from $1 million a year to 10 million. How could we do that? Well, we can't do it. Okay, but how could we do it? Man, it's impossible. But how could we? Well, we can't even dude, why don't you go buy 10 businesses like yourself right now? It would be easier to buy 10 businesses in a recession than it would be to grow your business, and you just grew 10 times. And you didn't have to hire one person. But you got to think outside the box.
When did you said like, so you weren't successful early on. When was the shift? What was it like that moment where all of a sudden?
When I was 51.
51.
Yeah.
How old are you now? You're fucking older than me.
61.
You're older than me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the shift? What was it?
2010, man.
Tell me.
2010, I was just like, I had a little bit of success. I had 3 companies that were doing well.
Right.
And
what were those companies? Was it sales?
There was a sales training, a speaking business.
Okay.
That I had been doing for 20 years. And it had really become just about me collecting a fee. We would market it. We owned the production of the event. The only difference was I wasn't getting a speaking fee. I was getting a piece of the gate.
Okay.
So I didn't actually do any speaking for hire.
Speaking about sales?
Sales. It was all sales, and it was
industry specific? Or?
Yeah, it was automotive.
Okay.
I was very, very dependent upon the automobile industry. So I realized, number one, I'll never be dependent upon one industry again, ever. Number two, the other business was a consulting business that was similar in
auto.
That I didn't run. I was a partnership, and I collected a royalty with it, and that was great for years. It was great until it wasn't, right?
Right.
And then the third business was I would take all the money from the first two and pour it into real estate because I knew that real estate would live longer than I could.
Right.
And it would work better than I could. So the problem with all 3 of those, though, is I never did it big. Like, I never did it big.
What was the worst
No,
part?
and I mean, there was no bottom right there. It was like, oh, I got it. How long am I going to get dragged out, right? We didn't lose anything. I didn't go bankrupt. I didn't lose anything. All my buddies that were buying real estate and really doing a lot of no money down stuff, they lost everything. But I was terrified. Okay, I was so scared. I thought I'd left my family down, and we couldn't expand. I was too scared to expand, even though I had some cash. I had a great opportunity to invest in a great company. I would have. I loved the guy, and he wanted $1 million, a measly $1 million. I had it, but I couldn't give it to him, dude, because I was so scared. And so I realized then I will never be in this position again. That was 10 years ago. And what I did then was okay, I got to get other industries to know me. I got to get known. I got to start using these social mediums that I thought was a waste of time. I'm like, this is all bullshit. And so I just leaned into it, dude, and we built a Facebook following. And that changed everything. We didn't have any e-commerce going. We'll do 40 million in e-commerce this year.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
One day I was with him and he's like, hey man, what do you want from me? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what I want from you is, I said, I mean, nothing really. He's like, yeah, you want something. I said, if I had my wish list, I'd just see your bank statement. Mm. And he's like, what? I said, just your bank statement. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. What does his statement look like?
Right.
$367 million at one account. And I was looking at this, I was like, dude, Schwab account, Merrill Lynch account. Like, he had all these accounts. A Bank of America account with like 400 million. Like, I was like, oh my God. And for me, it was like, it's real. Yeah. It's real. Those are numbers. This is a regular guy. Now, the second thing I thought about was, okay, I'm in the wrong space. I can't do this doing what I do.
In the wrong vehicle.
Yeah. Now this is, let me see what year this was, 2018. No, it wasn't. No. That's 4 years ago. No, this is more like maybe 6.5 years ago. This is only maybe 2015. Okay. In the next 7 years, I would go from where I'm at then to like cracking a brick.
And that's when you decided to start Cardone Capital.
Then I started looking at, I'm in the wrong space. Yeah. This space cannot churn enough money. I'm not reaching enough people. I'm not marketing enough. Not enough people know me. My product lineup is wrong. Yeah. Like I was in the right I was on the right field, just the wrong position.
Got it.
You're surrounded by, poverty. You're surrounded by little think. You're surrounded by addiction. You're surrounded by slavery. Yeah. Look. I mean, there's as much slavery in the country today as there ever has been. You got 300 million people in this country that's slaves. It's called the middle class. They just made it to a place.
Right.
They just made it. I can pay my bills. I can pay my mortgage. Look what they're paying for. I can pay my house. I paid my house off now. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I paid the house off. I don't have that anymore. I got a retirement account. These 5 things that I just mentioned are simply machine. They're the machine. You're feeding the machine. You're stuck. You're not free yet. So for the young guy out there with nothing, dude, your first target needs to be a 1% club.
Got it.
Second thing, that means you need to suffer until you get there. No cars, no bracelets, no watches, no glow, no like.
For sure.
You're not doing the shine and I'm popping and I'm rocking because you ain't gonna fool me with your shit.
Yeah.
Guys like me, they don't care.
Guy comes up, he wants to sell part of his company, he wants me to look at it. He drives up in a Rolls Royce. Before he sat down in the chair, I knew the deal was done. He was 24 years old. I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm like, there's no way I'd go in business with him.
Why is that?
Because he's a degenerate. He had a new company. It wasn't even doing that well. Okay, what the fuck are you doing with a goddamn, don't try to impress me with your car. By the way, that's only going to impress your bullshit friends.
Right.
It's not going to impress a real guy.
So how rich do you need to be to get a car like that?
Well, it's not just how rich. It's how long you've been rich.
Right.
So if you were rich instantly and you're going to go buy a Lambo, stupid. It's stupid, man. Like it looks stupid. Like I could have bought a Rolls Royce when I was 40 years old. I didn't buy it because I'm like, I'm too young for that car. I didn't have a Rolex until I was 42 years old. I could have bought the Rolex when I was 31 years old. I didn't. Why? Because I was buying assets. I wasn't trying to show off and get approval from people. The Rolls Royce, the Gucci, the Versace, the belts, all that stuff is just trying to get approval. Now, if you're a woman and you're wrapping up in Chanel, like my wife, she wears Chanel, so she's rocking this Hermes hat, drives me fucking nuts. I hate all that shit. It probably took me a good year of getting
stabilized,
sobriety and stabilized, not using drugs, to like, okay, I can start to trust myself. Then I started paying people back for the damage I caused, or at least making an effort to. And then I started being effective as a salesman. It's the only job I could get. I didn't go into car sales because I wanted to. I went into car sales because that's the only people that would hire me.
right?
And then I started getting good at that, and I started saying, man, I remember I went from making $2,500 a month to $3,500 a month. The most important money I have ever made in my life was that $1,000. It is not the hundreds of millions or whatever I've made, over the internet. It was that first $1,000 said, oh, wow, I have control. I can
It's up to you.
If I can get better, if I can just get better, if I can make a commitment, stay clean, and get a little better every day. And then I ended up reaching the top 1% in the auto industry in a job I hated, didn't like, didn't want, didn't choose, and I just took it.
Somebody said last night we were doing something together. Oh, that we were both wealthy when we showed up. It's like, where did that
on Twitter
happen?
Spaces, the guy said, hey, you guys grew up wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we stole 14-foot aluminum skiffs for entertainment on the weekend.
Yeah.
And by the way,
And
we would
lost one
only
of them.
we couldn't afford the gas to put
That's
in
right.
the motor. So not only would we steal it from the neighbor, again, this is back in the 70s and 80s, nobody locked anything up. But if you got caught, you were going to go to jail, unlike today. But we stole those skiffs, sank one of them, abandoned the other one, but we had a good time.
Dude, we had a blast.
Yeah.
That was so fun.